看不同种的口味 ，regular, cheese, spicy and horse。没有想到这个里头是有马肉在里头，真的马肉没吃过。The color is very very unique once you take a look at this. So, okay, here we go. Okay, so 口感最相近，我可以想到就是一种蓬松的感觉，好像有点像lunch meat 什么午餐肉这种类似的这种口感，是蛮咸的，很不一样。总是可以说我尝过了，so OK 。
Catalanian style,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's a Mediterranean style.
Okay.
They are collected 3 weeks ago, so they're in hibernate.
Oh, yes, sure.
They're in a deep sleep stadium. Now we have a special sword mix with special herbs
Okay.
and pepper.
Oh, delicious.
So
Okay.
they sleep. We put a little bit of this sword,
Okay.
and then we get some drops of fat on it.
Yeah.
And then we grill it like the Roman people for 2,000 years.
Okay, sounds delicious. Thank you. Okay. 看冒烟滚烫的 boiling hot and that's delicious. 不同的香料在里头，而且它有特别的油在里头 ，really delicious. I think that no matter where you're going to vacation, it's really important to learn a little bit about the local culture and what people like to eat, and what better way to know than some of the small kind of 小吃店. So let's take a look at what's going on here. I see this is a Wurstel, and there are Wurstel stands all over the town in Vienna, and Wurstel is a very common traditional thing that people like to eat. Now personally, hot dogs and sausages aren't my favorite go-to food, but I have to try this here because it's so important to the local culture. So, hello sir, how are you? These are all considered Wurstel?
Of course.
Okay.
So the first one is we have the stuffed cheese, which is called Käsekreiner.
Okay, so 这个里头是有cheese 在里头。
And this is the regular one. It's called Bratwurst.
Bratwurst, OK. 然后他们用的外面灌肠的也是天然是肠子，所以不是那种化学的东西，加工的东西，他们还是保存的kind of natural process, and I think that's really important. 然后这种的你看是等于是肉打成泥，然后做成好像肉饼子一样，但是这个是切成一片一片。You can have it in a sandwich or you can have it plain, but 你看不同种的口味 ，regular, cheese, spicy and horse. 没有想到这个里头是有马肉在里头，真的马肉没吃过。Can I try the Leberkäse with the horse meat?
Of course.
Okay, please. 不管到哪里去旅游，总是要尝一点没有吃过的东西，所以我们点一个 horse meat 的这个马肉的吃吃看，到底是我有点 I don't know. Folks might be more familiar with the German tradition of sausages, but in Austria, sausages are also a very popular classic food. They're usually served with a few slices of hearty bread, so you've got protein and starch for a complete meal. I've ordered the horse meat Leberkäse and also some traditional sausages for €7.40. It's a good deal. OK， 所以我们来吃吃看，这是最传统的。你看里头还有一块一块的 cheese，and 很香。But I think what's really interesting is 我们通常吃香肠 ，maybe 是有比较甜的这种 flavor， 通常比较欧式的这种香肠就是比较就是偏咸的。And also, if you can see the inside of the texture, 我们是比较习惯可以看到像一块一块的肉或肥肉在里头。他们这边的 tradition 做法就是把那个肉搅成泥，所以你到时候吃下去的 texture is like a very snappy pop from the skin. So I'm gonna dip this in here. And they said this is 芥末是有一点甜度，有 honey 在里头。So, 口感很不一样，因为有一块一块 cheese 在里头，所以咬的时候就变成有点 creamy， 是有原因。他们会说要配这个 honey mustard， 我们是习惯 OK 香肠有一点甜度，这个等于是代替这个糖在里头，所以两个配的有一点甜甜咸咸的 ，it's a great combination. So the next thing I'm gonna try here is the Leberkäse with the horse meat. So I've never had horse meat before, so I don't know what it's gonna taste like, but the color is very, very unique once you take a look at this. So, okay, here we go. Okay, so 口感最相近，我可以想到就是一种蓬松的感觉，好像有点像lunch meat 什么午餐肉这种类似的这种口感，是蛮咸的，很不一样。总是可以说我尝过了 ，so OK 。
The assertive flavor of horse Pferdeleberkäse won't be for everyone. But if you're an adventurous eater looking for an intense bite, I recommend you try it for yourself. Europe has had long-standing traditions of eating horse meat, but due to changing attitudes, it's eaten less frequently than before, though it can still be found on menus in France, Italy, Germany, and even in Japan. After eating our main meal, it's time for some dessert. How about we keep it under control? I'll just order 3 kinds.
On a trip to Vienna, you absolutely have to try some of the Viennese desserts that they are famous for. I love sitting just at a cafe on the side of the street, just enjoying the street view and the people walking by, but most deliciously, these beautiful desserts that we have here. And this one we have here is the classic Sachertorte. Sachertorte is chocolate sponge with some layers of apricot jam and a chocolate glaze. This is one of the most traditional Viennese desserts. All over Vienna, you can find versions of this delicious chocolate cake. So let's take a look here. It's a lovely light chocolate sponge that literally melts into a creamy taste in your mouth. And that little bit of apricot flavor in there, that little bit of tanginess is great with the chocolate glaze on there. So again, I highly recommend the Sachertorte if you're coming to Vienna. The other dessert I have to share with everyone that is a classic Viennese pastry dessert is the strudel, so apple strudel, typically always made with apple. But if you ask anyone in Vienna what kind of dessert they'll be wanting to eat, strudel is definitely on the top of their list. So 里头是苹果，但是不是生的苹果，它们是全部是刨过，所以变成软软的。然后到时候这种的 dough is 很特别，它们就是一团面，但是拉成像一个桌布那么大，很薄一层，就是一块面，然后就把苹果的 filling 放在里头。然后一直卷，就变成这种了。And 原来是从 maybe 中东希腊那边的 baklava 的这种概念，后来传到匈牙利，后来传到奥地利的这种，变成传统经典的奥地利的甜点。So let's try the apple strudel. There's something about apple strudel that is both delicious and warm and comforting at the same time. 煮过的苹果有咬劲有嚼劲，但是也是很 tender, very, very juicy. And the spices they use in there is just very warm and inviting.
Austrian cuisine has influences drawn from many countries and ethnic groups, and most notably the era of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, when chefs tried to outdo each other with dazzling new cakes and pastry creations. This next confection originated in Hungary, but has since become one of Austria's most classic desserts.
One of the other traditional Viennese dessert is called the Esterhazy slice, or the Esterhazy torte. And this particular torte is made from layers of almond macaroon with the buttercream in there, sometimes with cognac or vanilla flavoring in there. But it has this traditional kind of, if you take a look, there's this feathering on the top with the chocolate decoration. So that's very traditional of the Esterhazy torte. So let's take a look in here. And it's covered in almonds and has a very rich nutty flavor. The buttercream 就是给它一种很滑的这种口感，就是坚果的香味 is permeating in this beautiful dessert. So nice firm texture, but also that nuttiness that cuts through with the sweetness of the buttercream. It's a classic dessert and I can see why.
Each of the 3 desserts I've eaten are classics with more than 100 years of history behind them. I couldn't ask for a more ideal afternoon than basking in the sun, relaxing at a cafe, and enjoying my treats. This is the quintessential European experience. After eating dessert, I'm taking a stroll in the Old Town Center to soak in more of this elegant and sophisticated city.
我们现在就在维也纳的 Stephansplatz, which is named for this beautiful cathedral here, St. Stephen's Cathedral, which is one of the tallest cathedrals in the entire world. 而且现在 Stephansplatz is the 正中间 of all of Vienna. 你可以看这边有很多观光客 There's lots of historical buildings here, so 你如果来维也纳一定要来看 Stephansplatz. 因为我以前是走修音乐，我也有当过音乐家，有一个很特别的地方，我想带大家去看一下。I'm going to take us to somewhere special that we are going to see where one of the famous composers lived here in Vienna. And in Viennese composition and music history, Franz Schubert was also very well known, but the perhaps most well-known composer that we want to show you today is here, Mozart's house. So Mozart. So a lot of people don't realize he was an Austrian composer. This is actually 他原来在维也纳住的地方，就是这边的第一楼，所以很难得可以看到这一栋房子。
Mozart's house is located just behind St. Stephen's Cathedral. Mozart was born in Salzburg, but eventually moved to Vienna in 1781 to seek fame and recognition as a musician. The 10 years he spent in Vienna were his most fruitful period as a composer. At that time, Vienna was the cultural and artistic center of Europe. Here in the old city, you can still get a sense of that atmosphere and grandeur.
One of my favorite parts about walking around in any European city is the fact that there is history literally everywhere you look, and right underneath your feet as well. So the cobblestones that we are walking on right here, and even the architecture, a lot of times in the city center, it remains unchanged from probably hundreds of years ago. So you can imagine just getting that sense of what it was like to live here hundreds of years ago. And I think it's important. A lot of times we just walk through, but to really take in all the architecture and the atmosphere, it just gives you a real sense of this city.
Walking down this quiet side street, I can almost hear Mozart's music in my ear as my walking cadence slows down and I savor the peace and beauty this city brings to me. In Vienna, even a simple stroll can be a luxurious treat. But now it's time for another change of pace. Since festivals celebrating the Snail are only held twice a year, it's time to go from elegant, refined Vienna to festive Vienna. Let's go.
We're really fortunate today here in Vienna to be here at the Gugelmuck Hofesh, which is a snail festival celebrating all the delicious foods that you can make with snails. And there's music in the air and I can smell the delicious smells. Lots of people here, so let's go in and take a look. Hello!
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Andreas. Thanks for having us. So tell us a little bit about what can we expect here today.
Yeah, this is our pre-party because next week we start with the Snail Festival in all Austria with the best restaurants, and this is our party. And you see, we have over 10 different courses with snails. We make a kind of a pizza.
So celebrating the snail.
Yes.
What is this? Can I see this? This is amazing. Look. Alles gut. Good best wishes, right? Alles gut. And that's you.
He is the artist.
Oh, really? I'm Jason. Nice to meet you.
Jojo.
Oh, and what was the inspiration for this beautiful image here?
He is the snail king, and also the snail, which is a special kind of snail with a shell that's spiraling in the different direction from the usual snail.
It's an amazing image here, and I think very celebratory of the whole occasion. I know you're super busy, so we're gonna just kind of take a look around, but congratulations on a fantastic event. Thank you, nice to meet you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
This boisterous pre-party for the larger festival is so fun and filled with great energy. I have to say that Austrians sure do know how to enjoy life. Although the formal one-week festival involving all the Viennese restaurants kicks off next week, unfortunately today is my last day in Austria. I'm really thankful I've managed to catch today's event.
所以这边有很特别的料理。I see 芒果。Hello, Jason.
Hello, I'm Evan. I'm Evan. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about what
from
you're...
Vienna, I prepare here mango fries in orange butter, yes, with spicy escargots.
这位爸爸是把 butter 还有芒果还有 orange 还有瓜牛肉全部都做在一起，我觉得很特别。现在还有草莓 ，so 这个到底是咸的菜还是甜的菜 ？Let's try it. So why do you put strawberries in there too? How did you come up with this combination? It's very unusual.
This is a beautiful color.
Okay.
Yes? And also when you eat, a beautiful taste. Yes?
Thank you, Erwin.
Bon appetit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure I'll love it. Okay. So let's try this.
You take.
You have the kind of savory richness of the snail meat, but then you have this kind of unexpected fruitiness of the strawberry and that heat from the chili peppers. And it's not a heat that kind of just goes there right on your tongue, but it slowly comes back after. So the mango, the fragrance, the sweetness with the strawberries, I think it's a great combination. Very unusual, but very delicious. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Would you like to try some?
I love mangoes. I'll
Yes.
try the mango,
Okay, yeah.
but he has been
Yes.
eating it since he's a baby.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The
So-
first time we went there, I mean with him, we've been going there as a family for
Yes,
many years.
sure.
He kept on going.
Oh.
So I said to my husband, give him a little taste,
Yes,
you
yes,
know?
yes.
And he just loved it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Owen is
So you've been family friends since a long time?
a very long time.
Oh, wow. Try a little bit, try a little bit.
It's amazing that the tiny, lowly snail can create such a festive autumn occasion for people to gather and celebrate. Andreas sincerely hopes that through events like this festival, people will fall in love again with snails and revive their tradition in Vienna. We're moving to another section of the party where today's highlight is just about to start.
我们现在很难得正好看到老板在这边 He's preparing a very special grilled style snail that we're going to be having in just a little bit. So if you take a look right here, they are setting all the snails up here and amazing.
Catalanian style,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's a Mediterranean style.
Okay.
They are collected 3 weeks ago, so they're in hibernate,
Oh, yes, sure.
they're in a deep sleep stadium. Now we have a special sword mix with special herbs
Okay.
and pepper.
Oh, delicious.
So
Okay.
they sleep, we put a little bit of this sword,
Okay.
and then we get some drops of fat on it,
yeah.
and then we grill it like the Roman people for 2,000 years.
Okay, sounds delicious. Thank you. Hello. You can say hi to the camera if you want. Hello.
Check it out. This is loads of fun for kids and adults alike. Roasting snails like this is super unique. Everyone is snapping pictures and taking videos. This is so neat, I'm even jockeying with the cameraman to get a perfect shot of the snails. Oops, sorry.
The wood that you're using for the grilling, does it have to be a certain kind or just anything that you have?
No, normally the Roman people said it's from the wine. Yeah, you have to cut the wine in springtime. Yeah, and it's normally in the Mediterranean area to grill, not with this kind of stuff. And so we have this. We make a fire, then it's the white glue, and then we roast it about 10 minutes. Yeah.
OK， 所以原来这个瓜牛是到时候烤的时候烤10分钟就好了。最早的时候是用葡萄藤的木头来做这个，因为是在罗马那时候available 的东西，但是今天我们就是用当地的木本的东西来烤这个。
This grilled snail preparation takes patience and a lot of elbow grease. The snails are dipped one by one into the spiced salt. Then a piece of fatty cured meat is heated until the fat begins to render, and a little bit of that oil is then carefully dripped into each snail shell. The snails are cooked over the burnt out ashes of the fire, not the open flame, so they don't get scorched. Cooking like this is definitely an art form.
So, Jason.
Oh wow！
So.
我们的蝸牛好了，终于上桌，我们来吃吃看。It's amazing. Oh, vielen Dank, vielen Dank. Oh. Okay.
Bitte sehr.
看，冒烟滚烫的 ，boiling hot and that's delicious. 不同的香料在里头，而且它有滴特别的油在里头 ，really delicious. And I noticed before you were dripping the fat on there. What kind of fat are you using?
We have an old big, it's called Mangalitza.
Oh,
It's a
Mangalitza.
yeah.
Making it in
Lardo.
Austrian flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Austrian lardo flavor.
Wow, amazing. So we just saw Andreas putting together this beautiful Catalan-style roast snail, and the steps are actually pretty complicated because even though it's a simple preparation, he has to take the fat, and he's using a Mangalitza pork fat, so putting that on each snail with the seasoned salt, and actually that process was about probably 10-15 minutes, individually dripping that fat on the snails. I think it's really important because, you know, when you're grilling things, you need a little bit of oil, a little bit of fat, just makes that kind of perfume really come out. During the cooking process, you probably also noticed that Andreas was moving this tray of snails up and down, and that's to control the heat. Now, if it's too hot, then it's going to cook too fast to get too tough, but he really wants all that beautiful fat and the spices in there to really permeate into the snails. And after tasting it, 等于是最 pure 的这种原味。其他的有一些蝸牛的料理是蝸牛是先拿出来，然后到时候先煮过不同的 things. But this is the most pure flavor that you're getting from the snail, and it's delicious.
The tradition of Viennese snails is definitely being brought back to life in full force. I truly admire Andreas's ambition and perseverance. Learning how to raise snails, researching their history in Viennese culture, and creating this fantastic snail festival. His 12 years of efforts to champion the snail have turned this festival into the most anticipated eating event of the autumn season in Vienna. This marks the end of my food hunter Michelin journey in Austria.